Literally, if I could have a restaurant describe me as a person, it would be hibachi.
That's so true.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
That's
it's
so
just
true.
like in your face, bang bang.
Lots of yelling, lots of noises.
Either you love it or you
flames.
don't really love it at all. You know.
Either-
We're talking about what we're ordering. You know, everyone's like, oh, chicken. You know, steak, shrimp and rice. And gets to Pete, and he goes, oh, we're talking about what we're ordering, and Pete goes, yeah, you know, sushi.
Okay, I also asked beforehand, I go, you guys gonna judge me if I don't get hibachi?
And then Pete goes, are you
Everyone at
gonna
the table goes, no, get whatever you want. And it goes, what the fuck did you just say? Everyone else didn't give a fuck. I go, wait,
I'm
what?
at that point in my friendship with Pete where, like, I'm not just gonna agree. No, like,
fuck did you just
if
say?
you're at a fucking hibachi place,
I was like, yeah, you know,
And you're
it's a
just
big
gonna
deal
get
if I just get
sushi?
sushi. It's like,
yeah,
fine, but like, the whole experience. Just
like,
Sorry.
go sit at a fucking bar seat if you're gonna get goddamn sushi at a hibachi place.
it was really good sushi.
And you know those chefs, they're ticked off. They have one audience member who's just not entertained, you
Yeah.
know? He's like, I don't care if I burn the food
He
or
tried to
not.
feed me twice, dude. He
Yeah.
kept trying to put food on my plate. I was like, no, I don't think that's mine.
So yeah, I think you are so out of bounds for fucking not ordering hibachi. If you're that person who goes to hibachi and sits at the table and doesn't order hibachi, I judge you. Judging. But Fire New Year's, it was nice.
Really good sushi.
I'll be honest, sushi's like top 2 foods for me.
Yeah,
So
man.
I'm in 1,000%.
Okay, so sushi's top 2 foods for you. That means your number 1 food's hibachi? Because you didn't order your
Probably.
number 2 food.
Probably, dude. Like, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's out of pocket. So there's a lot of other foods, but sushi's definitely top 3 foods for me. Emotional damage. Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
Yep.
And the boys are back.
Back on the other side of the desk.
That's right, man. It's trippy. It's
Yeah.
weird being back in this position and kind of remembering like when we did boys only episodes fucking every week, you know?
I had
And
to ask you before we started. I sit on this side, right?
yeah, right? It's weird. And it's exciting that we've been bringing that many guests on.
Yes.
So we haven't been in this situation.
Yeah, no, it's been super cool.
But I'll be fucking completely frank. The boys only episodes, I'm like giddy about sometimes.
Yeah, I'm excited
because
for today.
Pete and I haven't seen each other in almost 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and that we have like separation issues.
We spoke like pretty much every day.
Every day we talk, and then like every week we see each other because of the podcast, at least. So when we don't see each other for like 2 weeks, for any other friend, it's like completely normal, you know. But for us, it's like weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Happy to be back.
Yeah. So I got the vid.
Yeah.
COVID free now, but COVID spread through my family this holiday season, I guess you could say.
Everyone's family, I feel like.
Dude, it blew up. The thing about it is I had Omicron variant, I guess. I actually never even got fully tested, but my fiance had it, and then I got sick, and I'm like,
Yeah,
all right,
put
we
two
get
and two
sick on the
together.
same day. She got tested. She was COVIDed, COVIDed. And I was not. But I was sick the next day, so I was like, you know.
You tested negative, or you just didn't test?
I just didn't test.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing, dude. These testing lines to get instant tests right now are like 4.5, 5 hours.
It's not very instant, is it?
No, exactly. But the other test is like 3 to 4 days.
Oh, okay.
So if you needed to like prove,
Instant results.
yeah. So you know
Not
where
instant
the courthouse is on PGA, across the street from the mall.
Yep, been there a couple times.
The line for the testing center was all the way past the PGA bridge, like on 95.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like a 3.5 mile line.
Wow.
Insane, dude.
How do you even keep up with something like that, man? It just seems...
It's like
I gotta start hiring Chick-fil-A employees to work the COVID testing center.
something, dude. You got to pick it up, yo. It's not. It's just. It's like not okay because it also makes a lot of people not want to go get the test because you know you're gonna be waiting in line for 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
You just confirmed for me that I'll probably never
Never
get
go.
one of those.
You know, like you can only assume, and it's kind of sad too. You can only assume when you get sick these days, it's like one thing. You know, it's like, oh, I got COVID. So we followed the protocols. To be honest, it was a light head cold. Like me and Paige had the same symptoms. You have stuffy nose.
Yeah.
I got like a 99-degree fever one time, but nothing crazy.
Did you experience any back pain?
No back pain, Pete. I don't think that was COVID.
It's real, dude.
No,
I
don't think that was COVID. No.
You know what I'm talking about.
Pete
back
calls
pain
me.
is a side effect.
No, Pete.
I swear.
You fucking cabin.
You can
Pete.
Google it. Should I look it up?
I know Google will say it, Pete.
You're damn right it will.
But Pete slept on his back for fucking wrong one day and texted me, dude.
For a week,
he texted me like all week. He's like, dude, I can't get out of bed. Like, fuck, Dan, I hurt, man. I'm like trying to send over like, bro, like throw some cream on it, like do some stretching, like trying to be like a proactive friend.
Yeah.
But it's just like every day. And then he texted me like on the 7th day and he's like, yo, bro, so I think I had COVID and I think that was my back pain.
Yeah.
And I was like, Pete, what are you talking about?
It's a thing.
He's like, oh, you get COVID and you get some back pain. I said, there's no correlation between fucking COVID and back pain.
I don't think that's correct what you're saying.
How could COVID hit your back, Pete?
I don't know. How does COVID sweep the nation?
I think someone
Do you understand how
know.
it works biologically? I don't.
Dude, COVID has every symptom in the book, bro. Literally everyone.
So you're awfully skeptical for something that has so many symptoms. What the fuck?
No, I don't have back pain, Pete.
All right, well, good for you. Mine hurt. So did JoJo.
But why? So you strictly think you had no other symptoms? It was literally just back pain?
No, dude, I had all the symptoms, but that's also what made me connect the dots.
Okay, so you had...
But the same subtle symptoms that you're saying. I wasn't, like, fucking deathly ill, but I felt kind of shitty, But, like, that's also...
Do you think you felt shitty because you're back, though?
That's the connection I was making at the time. But then, in hindsight, it turns out my back was shitty because of the COVID. Nick.
But I don't... It might be, like, a little bit of a sore back, Pete, but you were telling me you couldn't, like, move.
Yeah, I was in a lot of pain. Okay, so here's... I've only read the first 2 sentences of this article, so... Forgive me for jumping ahead, but now it's starting to make sense because, okay, when I was telling you my back hurt, I also told you it goes all the way through my back to my chest, right? Do you remember me saying this? Like, my chest fucking hurt.
Yeah, it was trippy, Pete. He's like, you got stabbed, yeah.
Right, it felt like I was getting stabbed through my back. So, this COVID is a respiratory infection, which is the first sentence of this article.
Oh.
So, if it was in my lungs... It also makes sense that you would feel it in your back, because I told you it felt like it was directly through my back into my lungs. Tell me it doesn't sort of make sense if you feel like diagnosing yourself.
The hypothesis is there, okay? Yeah. It's there. I get it. Whether I believe
it... You make me
it...
feel like Alex fucking Jones over here, bro.
Pete, if any time before 2 years ago I said, bro, I got a cough and some sneezing, my back fucking hurts, you'd be like, what? You'd be like, what?
Yeah,
what?
Dude, exactly. But if you also told me 2 years ago that you'd have to walk around with a mask because I might be sick, like you'd be a pussy.
You're out of your mind. Yeah, you're right.
Things have changed, bro.
Yeah, I guess I feel like that's like bacon, eggs, and like.
You say bacon, eggs?
Bacon, eggs, and like a brownie.
Oh,
like
bacon, eggs.
Bacon, eggs. Like, a cough, a sneeze, like that's correlation. But then like you throw a brownie in there.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so for you guys watching, before I jumped on here with Pete, I got a little stoned. And I'm really happy. The last 4 weeks, if you guys watched the episode with Matt, I've been trying to make some changes, and I really did. I wrote down like a vision board for it, and from that time, I wrote that down and set those goals. I gave myself a certain amount of times to drink and to smoke. I know those are my vices, and I know when I'm trying to live a lifestyle geared toward my goals and achieving things, that those are going to hinder those goals. So it's not like I'm going to harm myself, but I gave myself 6 times to both smoke and 6 times to both drink between now and July. Basically once a month if and I want to, either thing. Over the holidays, I only drink 1 time, which I'm really happy about. That's fairly good. I have stopped drinking on the podcasts. New Year's Eve, didn't touch a sip of liquor. So like I went through all these holidays, didn't touch liquor, and been eating right, been feeling great, been going to the gym. So I'm really proud of myself. So today I just got a little high. Also, with COVID, I can't taste and fucking smell a thing.
Yeah.
So I haven't been eating. I don't have an appetite. I'm not fucking starving myself. I'm just not feeling food right now. So I'm kind of like taking that as like a...
And that was like your main reason for not wanting to smoke, right? Is like you get the munchies and
correct. And I told Pete, like, not in like a stoner way, but I love smoking. Like I love, kind of letting my mind wander. I'm so ADD and crazy during the day. It's nice for my brain to take a break and also get creative.
So when you're feeling creative, like, what do you do? How do you express that?
I
know you're not like a painter.
No, yeah, it's very true.
I wish that was your answer.
I don't rap, don't paint.
Well,
I don't dance. I mean, I do dance
anymore. You're retired.
Yeah,
DJ
I
Blue.
guess. I also get not a lot of my best ideas when I'm high, but I think outside of my box. I guess that's what I like about this the psychologically.
And like,
psychological.
what are you thinking about usually? Like, are you still thinking about work? Like, are there times when that creativity gets applied to your work? Is that applicable?
Think it's not that I think creatively. I think from a different angle, and I guess that's the biggest thing to it. It's like I think I have my certain ways with thoughts and processes throughout the day, and when I have a different angle from that, I just
see it from a different perspective.
let me see it from a different perspective. And like I know with a lot of psychedelics, like they say it kills your ego.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not saying weed's a psychedelic at all. What I am saying is for me, the way it affects my mind and the way I would tell people is like I see things from a different angle.
Meek Mill had an interesting tweet the other day. Did you see what he posted about smoking weed?
No.
I want to read it. Hopefully I can find it quickly. Which, I mean, it's not the same thing as what you're saying. It's almost the opposite, but I think it's interesting because, here it is. He goes, I'll throw this up on the screen so that people can see it, but he said, I smoke weed every day and get depressed as soon as I get high. I'd be happy as hell sober, LOL. It helps me think deeper and more realistic. So sort of the point that you were making, like, I don't think smoking makes you depressed, obviously, but to his point, like, it helps him see things from a different perspective and, maybe get more realistic.
Correct. And to be honest, weed's, in my opinion, it's a holistic drug. Yes, you can get addicted to it. Absolutely. I know people who try to get off weed or say, I'm going to quit smoking. They just don't because there is an addictive, process to it, I believe.
Yeah. I don't think it's not chemically addictive like most drugs that you hear about being addictive, but there's plenty of
It's like you could be addicted to sex,
right,
but,
exactly.
there's
really
no
be addicted to
anything, exactly. But out of all the drugs, like I think weed's a shit ton better than Adderall, and I wish weed did the same thing to Adderall as me did. If weed did the same thing as Adderall to me, I would definitely smoke weed all the fucking time.
Meaning what?
Meaning if I had the same attributes as I do on Adderall, but it was weed, but it's a more holistic sense because I'm smoking an herb.
You could feel...
Correct.
Well, maybe microdosing should be your thing. Because, when I describe it to people, a lot of the times I say it's almost like an organic Adderall without, like, the negative effects of Adderall. And the microdoses is all just mushrooms.
I do want to look into that. I know a lot of people... Because I don't know if you mind talking about it, but you've microdosed in the past.
I would love to talk about it. I microdosed for years.
Can you talk about that experience? Because I know a lot of people, sometimes you were talked about on social media, and a lot of times when I'm with Pete or we're catching up with buddies together, they always ask Pete about it. It's like it's a very asked question.
Yeah.
So what is microdosing to you? Give the definition real quick, and then kind of what it is to you.
I'm definitely not an expert on this, so I'm not claiming to be by any means, but just from the little research that I have done and from the experience that I have from doing it quite a bit, you're taking a psychedelic. It's usually either psilocybin mushrooms, which are like the mushrooms that everyone knows about that you trip on, or LSD, or acid, same thing. You can microdose both of those. Both of those are considered psychedelics. LSD is, I don't think considered holistic because it's like made in a lab. It's a chemical.
Correct.
But mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, they just grow organically like that. Now we have the technology where you can make them in labs, just like weed and stuff too.
Can you?
Yeah. There's people like pharmaceutically cultivating mushrooms now. But it's still a natural process. There's no chemicals involved in that. So, it's an organic compound, technically.
Basically, yeah.
It just grow like that.
Just molecules and atoms.
Yeah, dude.
What did I just say?
Aren't we all, bro?
There's just a nucleus and some protons.
Are we, dude?
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's quite literally just taking a micro dose, So a full dose of LSD would normally be considered a tab.
Yeah.
So I'll break it down to you how I produced it, in the beginning stages, so it sort of explains it a little better maybe. With LSD, when you want to take acid, you would take one tab, which is a little tiny square piece of paper that isn't, scientifically dosed really.
Yeah,
it's blotter paper, which is a big sheet of paper that's perforated, and they basically just soak that paper with the acid And
so what is a hit? A 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch square? Like
not
what?
even less, like a 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter.
So
a sheet I think has 1,000 hits on it.
that's insane, dude.
Yeah.
So if you take a bite of that sheet, you're dead.
You're probably toast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd get one tab.
Yeah.
And then you get like a little.
How do you even sell that in a baggie, or like where do you even?
A lot of times it comes in tinfoil because exposure to light makes it weaker. Like it'll lose potency if it's exposed to UV light constantly. So a lot of times when I've gotten it, it comes in like a little tinfoil wrapper to hide it from the light.
Yeah.
But so you get like a baby Motrin bottle. You know, it's like a little plastic bottle.
Yep.
And it's got milliliter measurements up the side of the bottle.
Okay.
And basically you put this little tab of acid. You empty out the bottle, clean it, dry it out. Put the tab of acid inside that bottle, and then take distilled water. Which is just, you know, you don't want to use tap water because there's like bacteria and stuff in there. You want distilled water because it's clean. And you take like that baby Motrin bottle. It comes with a little baby syringe too, not like a heroin needle, but like the plastic syringe that it also has milliliters on the side of it. And you'll suck up 10 milliliters of distilled water, squirt that into your baby Motrin bottle. So now your Motrin bottle has 10 milliliters of distilled water and the tab of acid inside it. You let that sit inside the bottle for like, you know, even like an hour or two would probably be enough, to be honest, but I always waited like 12 to 24 hours.
Okay.
And now all of the acid that was in that piece of paper is now distributed through that water. And this is a much better way to microdose because it's a lot more controllable and you can tell like the actual dosage, where if you were to take that little piece of paper and try to cut it up into 10 even smaller pieces, like one piece is going to be bigger than the other. You're not getting accurate dosage, you know?
Correct.
And LSD especially is like so potent that you don't really want to be
doing that,
fucking around with the dosage. You know, you can go from having a great day to like a
not a great day. Yeah.
So anyway, at that point you've got 10 milliliters of basically liquid LSD, and when you want to microdose, you'll take your little baby syringe, take 1 milliliter of water, which is 1/10 of a full tab,
like a half a sip, kind of.
Not even, dude. I mean, it's you keep it in the syringe. You squirt it right in your mouth. It almost disappears. There's like almost no liquid, but it's 1/10 of a hit of acid, and accurately, you know.
Wow.
And to
what's that effect? Is it kind of like a
nothing? It's not profound at all. There's really no high. There's no hallucinations. There's no psychedelic experience at all. But the chemical is in your body at this point, you know, and again, I'm not an expert on this. I've done research on it like 4 years ago and liked what I saw and haven't really read about it since then. But from what I remember, like LSD repairs connections in your brain and synapses that are destroyed from drug and alcohol.
So it's a healthy drug?
It repairs, I'm not going to put that label on it, but it repairs things in your brain. It has a lot of beneficial characteristics and side effects that are long term. They use it.
I guess LSD has
PTSD,
been. Yeah.
People with severe depression, severe anxiety. Like
they use microdosing. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that if you go to the hospital with PTSD, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you this microdose." Okay. But there's been studies done. You know, people have done studies with like DMT.
Is there any pharmaceutical drug for LSD?
No, I don't think that you can get pharma, like over the counter or nothing like that.
Okay.
No.
So it's all via the streets.
It's all black market. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that's all of that whole process is for acid, if you want to microdose acid. Which I did, that was my first experience with microdosing, was with acid. I did that for probably like a year or so. And you do, not every day, but 5 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
Or 4 days on, 2 days off, to not build a tolerance.
Okay.
But also, it's not like on your days off you don't still experience the benefits, because at that point, like, it's in your system.
Correct. And
you'll still have like the same good days that you have when you microdosed.
Have you ever used those, like, not Adderall, you buy them at any GNC store, like the cognition pills, like any of the On It products, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did Alpha Brain for a while.
Okay, whenever I've tried that before too. And I believe there's like MCT oils or something in it that
before as well.
That it tries to, you know, ignite the cognition in your brain to make you quicker on your feet during the day and stuff. And I've tried these pills and I didn't really find an effect. Like when you did Alpha Brain, like did you notice a big effect?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I think that's sort of the point to what I was saying, is there is no profound effect when you're microdosing. You're not going to feel high. You're not going to hallucinate. But at the end of the day, you're going to lay down in bed and be like, damn, I just had a really good day. You know, like it's a, for me specifically, you know, I don't struggle with PTSD. I don't struggle with a ton of anxiety, but I live a busy lifestyle, you know, and I like to get a lot of things done and be productive and be creative. And it helps me. I'm never searching for the energy that I need to do the things that I want to do. I don't drink caffeine anymore at all.
You don't?
Nothing, no.
Really?
Yeah, my hands shake too much, and obviously tattooing, that doesn't work well.
I think you told me this a while ago, and I forgot. You completely cut it out.
Yeah, because the other thing is, like, even on, like, you've offered me coffee here when I'm saying I'm tired or something. But after cutting it out completely, now when I do drink caffeine, I find I get a little anxious.
Do you think that had correlation to really bad headaches you were having and stuff like that?
A little bit. I mean, I've definitely gone through that with caffeine withdrawals. When I was working in the restaurant business, I was, you know, we always have like a fire espresso machine at whatever restaurant it is. It's, you push a button and espresso pops out. I was drinking like fucking 8 a day, you know?
Really?
Yeah, and then on your day off, you can't figure out why you have this pounding headache that you can't get rid of. It's because your body's searching for the caffeine that it's used to having. So like we were saying, you can get addicted to anything, dude. And you can experience withdrawals from a lot of things other than just hard drugs.
Yep.
Logan Paul's been talking about his withdrawals from weed a lot lately, which is interesting because he's making it sound pretty severe, and I don't want to say that that's not true, but I think it affects everyone differently, obviously.
When
I've
do
quit
go
weed
through
a couple times, and I never felt a
See,
profound
you're
withdrawal.
a unicorn. A lot of the people I've talked to who have, but then I'll ask you this: you say that, but when's the last time you quit weed for over a month?
Like when I was on probation a couple years ago.
So you know it's been a minute. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not saying you'd have withdrawals if you came off, but I don't. Do you fiend for it?
No, I don't think. I mean, I'm not going to say there are no withdrawal symptoms or like you don't notice anything. I would say definitely a little bit of a loss of appetite at first, but I mean that's like a little bit of a mind over matter thing too, you know. And then, you know, sleep is another one where like I feel like I depend on it for sleep a little bit.
Really?
And if I wasn't going to be able to smoke myself to sleep like I've done every night for years, I would definitely think I have a hard time sleeping. But I don't know if that's just because I've made a habit about it or if there's an actual...
So it's part of your evening routine.
Absolutely, yeah.
So every night as you're about to get in bed or in bed...
Yeah, usually like once I'm in bed and not going to get up again, I smoke and go to sleep. But once I smoke, like I don't want to get up again.
Because you're comfy.
Yeah.
Do you change the type of weed you smoke throughout the day?
No, it's always indica now. But that's another thing that's kind of changed as I gotten older. When I was a kid, well, I don't want to say when I was a kid. When we were young, before dispensaries were even a thing, you just got this whatever type of weed the weed guy had, you know? It was usually mango. If you're from where we're from.
Facts, yeah.
But I don't know if that was indica or sativa or what the fuck it was, you know? And I also never experienced any, like, I didn't notice a huge difference, you know? It would either be like, this is good weed or this sucks, but it wasn't like, ooh, this gave me anxiety. Now that, you know, I've got a medical card, we've got dispensaries, you can pick and choose all the strains you get, and they even give you descriptors of, like, the effects it's going to give you. I really pay attention to that shit. And I've, again, all of a sudden realized if I smoke sativas a lot, I'll get anxiety, and I don't necessarily enjoy it. So now I just smoke indica all the time. But again, it's not like my lifestyle has changed a lot. If I was still in the restaurant, like running around the restaurant every day, I may not want to like smoke an indica and then go to work, you know, like I used to. But to smoke a blunt and then tattoo, like,
exactly.
I don't need to be high energy necessarily.
exactly.
You know? I'm just sort of focused and in the zone. So my lifestyle is a lot different than it used to be.
Weed's crazy to me because it really affects everyone differently. Usually everyone's always going through a different experience with it. Some people have anxiety. Some people laugh. Some people fucking get artsy. You know, it's...
Before we get too off topic of the microdosing, I just want to complete that conversation. So I explained the LSD side of it, which I think is a little more intense for most people because LSD in general, like I said, it's a chemical made in the lab. It's a little more intimidating. The mushroom side of it is what I think is a lot more approachable and actually is legal in some states. You know, now like Oregon and Virginia or some shit, psilocybin's legal.
Okay.
So that's how I got put on this brand of microdoses that I've been doing for the last few years because they're produced in one of those states where it's legal in like a real facility where the, you know, everything is
not sketchy.
Not sketchy at all. You know, this is what they do for a living, and then they sell it legally. Not to me in Florida, that's illegal, but...
when you go to Virginia?
In their state, it's perfectly legal. And Similar to like the alpha brain and the cognitive enhancers that we were talking about before, they've figured that there's actually like a little bit of a blend that works best for mushrooms. So when you're like the microdosing mushroom pills that I take now are psilocybin mushrooms inside a capsule. You know, it's literally just a pill that you're taking. So again, everything's already been dosed out for you. You know, you're not, if you just ate like one mushroom, you don't know how much of the psychoactive ingredients on that one mushroom. So it's all been ground to a really, really fine powder. And then they mix it with lion's mane, which is another mushroom, but that's a legal one. You know, that's in alpha brain. That's in pretty much all of those cognitive enhancers. And then a little bit of niacin also, which is in like your pre-workout or anything that like
Stimulant?
nitrous oxide workout supplements. You know, it helps, I think, distribute everything through your bloodstream. I think. But that blend right there, again, there's been a ton of scientific studies that blend right there is ideal for cognitive enhancement. And again, you're not going to trip. There's no profound feeling. There's not going to be at some point, like even on Adderall, there's been times where I'm like, man, I'm geeking. You know, like you never really feel that way. You at some point you might go, man, I feel fucking good, you know, but it's not like it's not a high, you know, it's really subtle. And the best way I can really describe it is at the end of the day, you'll just be like, God damn, I got a lot of shit done today and I felt fucking good. You know, you'll be in a good mood. If you suffer with anxiety, I believe it helps a lot with that anxiety. Depression, same thing. PTSD, I would like to say the same thing. I can't speak on that one personally, but there's a lot. I mean, if that any of what I just said is like intriguing at all, like I said, I'm not an expert, but go look it up because there's a lot of information out there on it, and it's really
or comment
profound.
And then hit us up, talk to Pete.
Yeah, reach out if you're interested. I don't sell these things, but I'll give you all the information you need.
That's right. I think I want to. This might sound bad. I want to try it. I want to see. I just want to see what the effects it is. I'm at that point in my life where I know what happened with Adderall on me, and I know what my personality's like. You know, and if I do get a high off of it, I won't touch it because I know that's kind of what I'm subconsciously searching for.
Sure. But to the point that you were making that made us start talking about that, you said like if weed would give you the effect that Adderall gave you, which was a high, you know. But you didn't have to feel bad or guilty about the consequences of what you're taking. Then you wouldn't mind.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
That's almost what I feel this is. You know, you don't have to feel guilty about any of those 3 supplements because they grow out of the ground, and you could buy 2 of the 3 over the counter. But you also won't feel high. You know, you just might be productive. I don't know. It's worth a try.
I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah. It's worth a try.
And I know a lot of people ask us about it. A lot of people are curious about it.
Yeah.
I got the vid. That was fucking crazy. Weed crazy. Psilocybin, lion mane's crazy.
Acid crazy.
Pete, what have you been up to these last 2 weeks? How is
tattooing my ass off, dog? Tattooed right through the holidays. I didn't do anything for New Year's. Tattooed on New Year's. But that's what I like to do, man.
Oh, that's a good point, Pete. Glad you reminded me. So Pete and I went to get hibachi the New Year's Eve.
Was that New Year's Eve?
New Year's fucking Eve. And
I guess I didn't tattoo on New Year's.
And you tattooed during the day. And so we go to a fucking hibachi place. Love me some hibachi. Love the vibes. Love the soup. Love the fucking ginger salad.
They were in rare form that night.
Yeah. Wait. No. Okay, I'll get to that. But I mean, no. Like the whole ambiance of fucking hibachi fires me up, gets me going, cold sweats flying, right?
And also, can we say that I think this podcast idea was cultivated at a hibachi restaurant like
Correct.
5 years ago.
1,000%.
Me and Nick spoke about we want to do a podcast together at a hibachi restaurant like 5 years ago.
Literally, if I could have a restaurant describe me as a person, it would be hibachi.
That's so true.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's
so
just
true.
like in your face. Bang, bang.
Lots of yelling, lots of noises.
Either you love it or you don't really love it at all, you know?
Either way, I'm going to throw food in your mouth.
So we sit down, Paige to my left, Pete's to my right, and we have a bunch of other friends there. And I'm getting ready, you know? Guys showing up. Oh, what up? How you doing? You know, turns on the light, you know, and does little, you know, flip things. And
well, we also got to watch... Like, while we're still there waiting for our chef to show up, we got to watch the table next to us chef do his performance. And that dude was definitely lit.
Blacked out. Yeah. So, 60 for profile, 60-year-old Asian man, skinny, looked like he was coked out.
Yeah.
But I mean, describe me. He was just out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, he was definitely the loudest one in the room, but that was okay. You know, at first I thought he was just trying to put on a show. But then, as soon as the server like brought them their round of drinks and then walked away, I heard him go to the guy like, "Hey, you know, I like Bud Light too," and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, like, you gonna have time to have one after this when you get off?" He goes, "I can have one right now, boss. You buy me one right now, I can have it right now." And I was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be like this." So he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll get you one, no problem." He goes, "Hey, okay, that's what I'm talking about, blah, blah, blah." And then he pulls a bottle out of the cart and he goes, "Sake?" And there's just like, yeah, sure. And he starts squirting. It's like in a ketchup bottle, right?
Yeah.
He starts squirting from up here sake into everyone's mouth at the table from his ketchup bottle.
It was literally like Senior Frogs. Like it was.
But then he ends it with into his own mouth, all the sake. And you can tell he only initiated that because he wanted to be able to rip his own sake at the end.
So
like, I got to share with you guys so it looks like I'm doing my job.
You know, they do those flame volcanoes with the onions, and they use fucking, I don't know, rubbing alcohol to light that bitch up.
Yeah.
But then this fucked up chef is going around the table to like where we're sitting in front of us, putting this oil, whatever the fuck, on the table, on the countertop we're eating itself, and he's lighting these bitches.
Yeah,
and
right next to the napkins and shit.
Literally, like, it was my last night, fuck it, I don't care if I burn the place down vibes, you know? Yeah. And so at first it was lit, we were having fun, and then he's like, "Fuck you, man, you guys got fucking weed, man. I'm trying to." Is that the accent I'm looking for?
I don't know. I gave up on trying to do the accent because it's either gonna be wrong or insulting.
Yeah, that's true. So true.
Or both at the same time.
But no, he's like, I was gonna do the accent. I can't do it. Hey man, y'all got some fucking weed, man. I'm trying to get some weed, man.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, like kind of. I don't know. No offense.
But of course, Pete didn't bring the weed the one time.
I know. No, seriously.
Any other moment, I'd have the pen in my pocket. I probably would have given it to him.
Buddy would have just passed out. I think he was between sake and Bud Light. But anyways, so I am so fired up, so happy. Probably heart rate at 156 beats per minute. And server comes out. We get our drinks. You know, boom. You know. We're talking about what we're ordering. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, chicken, you know, steak, shrimp and rice."
Put me on blast real quick?
And gets to Pete, and he goes, "Oh, we're talking about what we're ordering." And Pete goes, "Yeah, you know, sushi."
Okay, I also asked beforehand. I go, "You guys gonna judge me if I don't get hibachi?"
And then Pete goes, "Are you?"
Everyone at the table goes, "No, get whatever you want." And Nick goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" Everyone else didn't give a fuck. They go, "Wait,
I'm at that point in my friendship with Pete where, like, I'm not just gonna agree. No, like,
fuck did you just
if
say?
you're at a fucking hibachi place,
I was like, yeah, you know, the big deal if I just get sushi is, it's like, fine, but like the whole experience, I'm just
like, go sit at a fucking bar seat if you're gonna get goddamn sushi at a hibachi place.
It was really good sushi.
And you know, those chefs, they're ticked off. They have one audience member who's just not entertained, you know? He's like, I don't care if I burn the food or not.
He tried to feed me twice, too. He kept trying to put food on my plate. I was like, no, I don't think that's mine.
So yeah, I think you are so out of bounds for fucking not ordering hibachi. If you're that person who goes to hibachi and sits at the table and doesn't order hibachi, I judge you. Judging. But Fire New Year's, it was nice.
Really good sushi.
I'll be honest, sushi's like top 2 foods for me.
Yeah,
so
right, exactly.
I'm in 1,000%.
Okay, so sushi's top 2 foods for you. That means your number 1 food's hibachi? Because you didn't order your number 2 food.
Probably. Dude, like, that's out of pocket.
Okay, good.
So there's a lot of other foods, but sushi's definitely top 3 foods for me. Emotional damage. You seen those videos?
I didn't want to spit it out.
You seen those videos yet?
No, what the fuck was that?
Emotional damage.
What are you saying?
You never seen that? I'll show you after. I gotta show you now. If you guys know, on TikTok, there's this thing going around, and then it's usually a video, and the guy at the end goes, I'll fucking
That's so funny.
Emotional damage.
What the
Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna put that up on the screen. Hopefully, we're allowed to do that. That was funny.
Wow. Oh, what were we talking about? Oh no. Yeah, top 3 foods for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll let that slide, I guess.
Literally, you have to. Okay, so I guess my next thing is
I feel my posture has been so poor this entire episode.
you know, Pete, I feel like I've been going too easy on us this season of Millennial Mentality for Would You Rathers.
Okay.
Would you suck a dick to save your mom's life?
My mom watches these episodes. Today?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? I gotta start the day like that.
9 a.m.
Tomorrow morning.
You're getting woken up because I know you sleep at 9 a.m. Knock on your door.
I would like to think that my mom would just say, nah, let me go. You don't have to do that, son.
So
right, Mom? You got my back, right, Mom? Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say, nah.
Chilling?
Yeah, Mom lived a good life.
You know what? It's a hard one.
She doesn't want her son to do that.
And listen, if,
Your turn.
What?
your turn, Nick. You getting that Glock 3000 or what?
Boy, I'm slurping. But everyone at home was like, oh, we know. No,
We know.
Did he just ask this question and say he'd suck a dick, No, it was no. We get it, Nick. You like talking about sucking dick, Emotional damage. Okay.
You know how me and JoJo were talking about this last night, and I was like, I got to talk about this with Nick tomorrow, because I want to hear your update on being a dog dad a little bit.
Oh, funny I said that.
Because you had a lot of doubts about Bruce and his abilities to be a companion.
Cognitive abilities, I would say.
Sure, yeah.
I never questioned the companionship.
Okay, yeah, cognitive abilities is
Yeah.
good. We've been using the C word a lot this
episode. A lot, yeah. I pulled that out of my bag of tricks. I don't know how I remember that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good. But anyway, so you know how, like, I was telling you at one point in time that, like, if we say to Bruce, like, go get a toy, he knows what that means, right? And he's, like, got a basket of toys.
Okay.
And he'll fucking run out of the room, go to the basket, come back with a toy.
Correct.
We've leveled up from that.
Okay.
And Bruce has, like, a quite significant toy collection.
I mean, 20 plus toys?
He destroys them at a pretty rapid rate, so, like, it's probably, like...
Are you at a toy a week, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we never buy one at a time. You always get like 3 at a time.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
So like we accumulate a collection at some points, but then he might go on a bender and like we get limited. But we also like name a lot of the toys.
Okay.
JoJo's got like funny names for them.
I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, so there's like and they're not like usually accurate names necessarily. He's got like one that's like a rainbow unicorn looking thing. Mm-hmm. And
those two things don't go together.
Well, you should see the toy. It's exactly what it is. It's a tie-dye. Okay, tie-dye is probably the better word than rainbow. Tie-dye unicorn.
Okay.
With a horn.
Of a rainbow.
That's also like rainbow colored, yeah.
So there's no rainbow in it. It's just rainbow colored.
What's a rainbow? Like every color, you know?
A rainbow is a half fucking circle, Pete.
Yeah, I fucked up and I said rainbow instead of tie-dye. I acknowledged that, and I changed the answer to tie-dye.
You know what? I'm trying to picture in my head a rainbow unicorn.
Forget the rainbow
And it don't
part.
make sense, Pete.
Just think of it. It's really just a tie-dye plush ball.
Yeah.
And it's got a horn on it, which makes it a unicorn. It's got no legs or anything. The horn, though, for some reason, JoJo doesn't call it that. It's a rainbow unicorn with penis. That's why I keep saying rainbow, because she calls it rainbow unicorn with penis.
Okay.
Okay, but it's tie-dye.
So
I'll
we're
correct her
breaking
when
this
I
down.
get home.
Okay,
I'll correct her when I get home
yeah.
that it's tie-dye, not rainbow.
Yeah.
But yeah, unicorn with penis is one. Lamb chop is another.
Okay, we got lamb chop for sure.
You got lamb chop?
Yeah,
Lamb chop's a good one. Bruce
Yeah.
loves lamb chop. And this is when I realized Bruce is different. Or maybe not, but Bruce is fucking smart. His cognitive abilities are there. Because he's got this basket with all of the toys in it, right?
Does he organize them?
No, I do. Every day. But when it's bedtime and we say, Bruce, go get your toy, it's no longer go get your toys. Bruce, go get lamb chop. Go get lamb chop.
Okay.
He goes to the basket and he gets the lamb chop.
Okay.
Of all the toys in the basket, he knows.
Lamb chop. Okay.
Yeah. If we say just go get your toy, he might come back with unicorn with penis. There's also
Have you tried
spread eagle
another name?
reindeer. Spread eagle reindeer. Do you know that one?
Spread eagle reindeer.
Spread eagle reindeer is a good one.
now you got to describe this.
This one's got mechanics to it, which is impressive. When he
What?
squeezes the body and it honks, the legs go.
So it's a reindeer body.
It's a reindeer, right? It's got antlers and shit.
Upside down.
Well, depending on which way it's in his mouth.
And you squeeze it and the legs open.
Yeah, you squeeze the body and the legs go.
Really?
Yeah. So that one naturally is spread eagle reindeer.
I love that.
That's a good one. But yeah, so Bruce is smart, man. The guy knows his toys by name.
Literally, I'll give you that, Pete. I think the dog is
I guess
smart.
my other question is, do you have any more faith now that you've experienced being a dog dad? Has Charlie impressed you with anything yet?
I'll start off with this. I am that guy. Yes, haha, everyone laugh at me. I have the dog voice now. I get it.
You're wearing a dog dad hat
I'm wearing a dog dad hat today. No, I'm not going to say, like, I have a dog treat pooch and, like, hours training with her every day. But
give it. I see you being that guy.
With the fanny pack.
Yeah. When you're like 50.
Dude, I love chilling with her. And to be honest, I'm really glad it's a girl. I'll be honest. After a girl dog, I think girls would be dope children to have,
Sure, yeah.
And I think it's like a misconception. Like every guy wants a guy baby. And like I get that. I definitely do want boys.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of guys out there that want daddy's little girl too.
If you have 3 children, who you want 2 boys and a girl or 2 girls and a boy?
I think I'd rather have 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
I really don't care though, as long as there's 1 boy. If it's 1 boy and 2 girls, I'm just as happy.
So you need a son.
Yeah, I'd like to have a son.
Peter James Price III.
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely. No, so with having her, bro, it teaches me a lot. It makes me, as bad as it sounds, a lot less selfless because you got to like,
right.
She's priority.
Right.
So it's taught me a lot subconsciously that way. And then
sorry, I just burped right into the microphone.
It's okay, totally.
I don't know why I did that.
But it takes me a little minute to warm up. So I find that like as I warm up, I love her more and love her more. And it's like not just like I get home, let Charlie out of the cage, and like it is what it is.
It's not a chore.
That's a great word for it. A great way to put it. It's like not, and like I want to get home to like see her. Like when I pull up in the driveway, like I open the door and like skirt to the cage. Yeah. And I do the, what up, girl? And she's waggling her tail, and I'm like,
she's
sweet.
So cute,
yeah,
man.
She's fucking amazing.
Yeah. How's she doing on the boat?
We took her on the boat 2 weeks ago. She did fucking amazing. She's a really good dog. We got blessed with that.
You do have a very good dog. She's super chill.
Super chill. She'll go through her moments of craziness, zoomies, but it's happening less and less. And I'm not saying I want those times to go away. I'm just saying, like, she's definitely chilling out. And her last accident in the house was like 2.5 weeks ago. So, like,
oh, nice.
Yeah. So she's got the potty train thing down.
Has she destroyed anything valuable yet?
No.
Good.
Nothing, dude. And that's what I'm saying. I will give credit to Paige and I. I think we are on top of it. Paige is a fucking 10 out of 10 mother, and I can't wait to have kids with her.
Charlie still hasn't been in the bed?
So Charlie sometimes chills with us in bed like till 10 p.m. and then sleeps in the crate from 10 to 6. Wake up at 6. Put her in the bed until like 6 to 7.
Nice. That's good. That's actually the best way to do it because you get to snuggle when you feel like it.
She like puts her chin up on your face.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
But it's not fun throughout the entire night because sometimes
you got no space, bro.
Right. Charlie's still small too.
Yeah.
When Charlie's big, like Bruce is big, he takes up more space than either of me or JoJo in the bed.
So how does that psychology work with you and a partner in bed? Like, are you like the nice partner? She's like invading your space, but you want like, are you like a hey, scoot over, or are you like a I'm just gonna eat this tonight?
No, I'll tell her to scoot over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like your circumference of area around you.
Yeah, and she loves to not give me that. Like she sleeps.
Same with Paige.
She'll say it herself.
Yeah.
She actually said it the other day, like joking, but she knows she's being serious. Like she likes to sleep with her like feet under my body. Or like her,
perpendicular to your body.
Yeah, like she'll like.
Oh, at an angle.
Yeah, like she'll just find a way to slide her feet under my body at like all the time, which is like super uncomfortable.
Is she like a warm foot person? Like or is it just a touch thing?
Yeah, no, it's just a touch thing. She just needs to be touching me while she's asleep.
Okay.
And she's made that very clear.
So they just wander in there sometimes, or like most nights.
Most of the time.
So you're okay with it,
right? I do deal with it, but there's also been plenty of times where I wake her up and say, "Hey, Joe, will you scoot over a little bit?" Because we both it's not all her fault either. Yeah. Bruce is a selfish sleeper, and he sleeps in the bed. And as soon as you move or give him an inch of space, he takes it over. That's the moment that it happens. Like you roll a little bit, and he fills the gap immediately. So there's no rolling back. It's just like fuck. Now I'm stuck here. So I think she kind of creeps over as the night goes on, and then once she creeps over, she can't retreat at all because Bruce fills the gap the whole time.
So you're getting squeezed in on the entire night.
By the end of the night, I'm just dangling off the end of the bed looking at my phone. You know? That's it.
Dude.
And she'll be like up in the morning, how'd you sleep?
And it's cool because before I had a dog, it was a dog, but now it's like part of the family, you know?
Yeah.
And so like there's a difference, you know, when there's like a family element to it and like part of like our little family household, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've met a lot of dogs in my life.
Yeah.
Never even really had the desire to have one of my own until like I had one of my own, and now I love it. I almost don't imagine myself ever not having
I can't never. I'm almost at that point
right.
Where
I'll have a dog for the rest of my life.
Well, it's like a tattoo. After a certain amount of time, it's like
you're definitely gonna have the tattoo for the rest of your life.
Well, 100%. That was a horrible comparison.
You picked the one thing that's definitely permanent.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, once it's a part of you, you get used to it, you love it, but you should love it. You know.
Are you trying to say you didn't love the tattoo that I gave you when you first got it, but it's grown on you?
Absolutely not. That was. But what I'm saying is, I fucking love dogs.
Yeah, dogs are tight.
I want to talk about this one thing real quick. I want to chop it up for about 5 more minutes, and then that'll be it for this week, guys. I talked to an old friend, and we were talking about life, and I feel like a lot of us are in this place now in our late 20s where we're starting to get pinched by, we've been doing a career for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, whatever it is, and you start to really ask yourself, like, is this what I want to do the rest of my life? And is this really it? And is this happiness? And is this pleasure? And is this it? Yeah. You know, and like, I feel like a lot of people think once you get over that 30 mark, you're pretty much set in what the fuck you're doing.
At least you're supposed to have been.
At least you're supposed to have been, exactly. And
do you remember, sorry to cut you off, but do you remember like when you were young, setting like a timeline for yourself of, like, by this age, I want to be married and have kids, or I want to be like doing what I'm doing for the rest of my life at a certain age?
It fluctuated up and down. Like, at one point, I thought I was going to be married and kids were like 23, you know?
I think that was like the range that a lot of us thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
How wrong were we?
But that's the kind of what we got pitched by our parents, you know? Like, a lot of them were really young.
My parents had kids at 21.
That's right. My mom was pregnant at fucking 21, you know? So, but what I was saying and talking to her about was, like, we are at this point in life where we have a lot of hobbies and passions us, but we also have this job that's, for some of us, could pay really well too. Mm-hmm. It's not about the money. But we have these side passions and hustles, and we find ourselves going to work and not feeling fulfilled, feeling empty. And even those of us who are making good money, and I'm even talking about myself for the most part, like, am I fulfilled by building houses? No. Does it pay fucking really good money? Yeah. So, does that help and make me happy that I'm building houses? I'm making really good money? Yeah. But I'm like a why person. I'm like a you gotta touch my heart for me to like get fuel person. And I question that a lot with my career. Is like, am I really only doing this for the money? You know? Yeah. And the thing about it is like, that's a short fuse for a long life, you know? And that's gonna burn out after a certain amount of time. And I know that. So me and her were talking, and she felt in the same position. And we had talked about things she liked doing, and going to the gym was one of them. And I was talking to her, and I was like, if that's one of those hobbies that you can't wait to wake up and go to the gym every day, try it as a side hustle. Right. Hit up some of your friends. Talk to people around the gym you know and say, hey, I'm thinking about becoming a coach. I really want to start writing programming or getting into nutrition. And you know, she has a great aesthetic, and she works really hard for that aesthetic, and she knows what the fuck she's doing. And I said, you really need to try that on the side, because if you don't try it, it's always going to be wandering in your head, and you'll never fucking know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess my message is, a lot of us face that shit. I know at least 50% of us listening face that shit, where, like, whatever the job you're doing, either A, doesn't feel long-term, or B, is it really you, and does it fulfill me? And that's a natural feeling. That's not something you could read in a fucking 10-minute help book, you know? Yeah. That's something you feel naturally. Some people call it your heart, your soul, whatever it is. Yeah. But try it on the side to at least know and tell yourself that that's not for me. Maybe the gym was a hobby for me, and it cleared my mind, and it was an antidepressant for me, or whatever it is. but I don't want to work in the gym because that's my safe space, you know, and that could be warranted too. But at least you know, right? And you keep kind of checking off this list of things I'm passionate about and things that maybe could fulfill it.
Right. Because I mean, I think that's how you tackle that inner battle, right? It's like if you're having that issue where like what you do for a living isn't fulfilling for you, I think the first route of trying to find a solution for that is like what does fulfill you, what are you passionate about, and how like what are the steps to monetize that?
Correct. And so we had talked about it, and I don't think she's now writing my programming for me working out.
Say that also. You volunteered yourself, right, to help motivate her to get started.
So we had caught up, and that was kind of the conversation. And the next time I saw her, I was thinking about it. It had been like 5 or 6 days, and I said, "Hey, you know, I'm looking to change around my life too, and I'm looking for someone to not hold me accountable, but kind of take a new leap with as well." Yeah. And I said, "Have you ever wrote programming?" She said, "No. I just do it for myself." You know, are you a nutritionist? No. No. She said no to all this stuff. She was honest with me. And I said, all right, I want you to start coaching me. I want you to start writing my training. I want to pay you for it. I'm going to treat this professionally. And I'll be your first client. I'll be your guinea pig. Tell you out of this, if it's a win-win for both parties, fuck yeah. Right. Either way, I'm going on this path and changing my life. I would love for you to be a part of that, but I want you to change your life as well. Yeah, right. So if those can go in correlation with one another and parallel to one another, why not? Yeah. And I think from the way she's reacted to it, she's fucking in love with it. Mm-hmm. She asked me a million questions that weekend going into the next week of writing programming. Yeah. And I'm so fucking proud and happy, and I hope it works out for her. Yeah. And I know it will. If it's something she truly wants to pursue. So I guess the message of the whole thing is, guys, don't feel ostracized for not feeling purpose in your job and trying to search for that. You're not alone at all. And continue to search for it. And if it's something that you want to make part of your life, not dabble with it, but implement it and see if it can fit in your life. Working at the gym, working as a chef, working as the things you're passionate about doing.
Sure. And the other thing too, like I love that exact point that you're making, and that's perfect. And almost like applicable to what we were saying with JoJo and like her trying to start this clothing business, you know. I think you also need to be a little bit flexible in the path that gets you to being able to turn those passions into money. You know, it may not necessarily be it's not going to be overnight. Almost a guarantee it won't be overnight. But you need to like, I don't know, I guess be open-minded as far as, maybe I should just say like the exact example that I'm trying to think of.
The thing about it is, for me, these are two way different topics. I'm going to become an entrepreneur, get rich, and get all these things done, goals. Sure. This is a emotion and feeling, right? So you got to understand, like, if you try it, right? She tries this, writing my programming, and she loves it. Boom, that's the answer you're looking for. Now, set the goals, do the thing, right? If Josie's making clothes, and she tried that, and she's like, holy fuck, the stars are aligning, then you do the step 2 and you cultivate everything.
Sure.
I'm strictly
talking
about...
That's in a perfect scenario where you're financially stable to continue doing, or at least financially stable to... Because at some point you have to leave the job that's not fulfilling, right?
But I'm not even saying that. Those are all action steps you're talking about. Yeah. I'm simply saying, do I like doing this?
Sure. But you have to take action. If the answer is no, then how do you do something that you like to do without taking action?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So I guess you're right. The first step is action. It's crazy because there's really a million ways to get to this one end product. You know, we're looking for a million ways to do it. Someone, the David Goggins would say, you know, sleep fucking 2 hours, you know, and find the other 6. And the thing about it is there's that, and then there's realistic, you know, where you don't do that for a week, burn out, and say, fuck this, you know?
Well, I think you can burn out even on your passion. You know, like, I love tattooing. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. But I still have gotten to points over the last 2 years where I scheduled myself too much, you know? And I find myself waking up going, fuck, you know, like... This person's going to be here in an hour. Like,
I got to do it.
I'm overdoing it, you know? Yeah. But so, like, you can definitely burn out on your passions. And I think that's another point. Like, you got to be open-minded and realize you might not be doing something that's not for you. But you might be burnt out or you might be in the wrong scenario. Like, I think there's probably a lot of people in the hospitality business that are made for the hospitality business. But that business also chews people up and spits them out and like doesn't always favor the people that work the hardest.
Yeah.
Does that mean that person needs to be in a different industry? No, I don't think so. They're just probably not in the right bar or the right restaurant or in the right scenario. And you got to take the steps to get yourself in that right place. Right. But a lot of people get pigeonholed because they start going through the motions. They get comfortable. They're scared to leave that money on the table that's there, even though they're miserable making it, you know. But at the end of the day, like, your quality of life is really matters more than anything, you know. And
like, I'm learning that the money like doesn't. That's not that it doesn't matter, but like it doesn't matter, you know. Like, your inner happiness and whatever that means to you matters, you know. Like, I don't know. Like,
when you're unhappy with your life, the money doesn't matter.
Money, correct.
Sometimes you need money to fix certain situations, but if you have the money and you're unhappy, more money is not going to fix it. It's something else.
Also, shout out to Stanton and Bowery.
The boys.
Guys, Stanton and Bowery is the group that owns Cucina 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And
Reed was the manager of 1, 2, 3 that we had on a previous episode.
Coda as well, Tyler and all those people at those amazing bars. Yep. They just opened up a bar in Chicago.
Partnered with Barstool.
Which
is fucking fat. That's
huge.
Sick.
We love seeing good people do great things, and that group is just continuing to fly. So shout out to Stanton and Bowery. Shout out to those set of bars.
Yeah, man.
Barstool River North is the name of the bar.
That's a big partnership, man.
And
Barstool's
I saw Dave Portnoy was there this weekend. Logan Paul was there this weekend.
Logan Paul was there this weekend?
Yeah, he was there yesterday.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
So shout out to you guys doing amazing things. We fucking love you guys.
For real.
Guys, that was it for this week. We love chopping it up. You know these episodes are going to be all the fucking over the place. We're going to try to break out clips more often for you guys, too, to kind of give you little bites and pieces before you watch. But we love you guys. Thank you for supporting and continuing this ride with us.
Merch still available, PeteCasso.com.
PeteCasso.com. We will see you guys next week. Peace. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit cute like my legs. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Rather flip a boat, nigga, I still serve a zip. I remember being broken, I was down bad on my dick. And she used to call me Ollie, now let shawty let me hit. Wait, well maybe it's just Bully, got a nigga confident. Remember all them dreams that I had when I was legit. They're like, yeah, I love the streets, but I'm still gon' go legit. Cause you know I need that German with that brand new fucking tip. Fell in love with them foreigns, watching a nigga Euro step. Got me feeling like I'm hardened, cause I'm plugged in with the ref. Like if you touch me wrong, you might get hit with this tech. Let them birds fly like a nigga causing rest. And I swear they broke my heart when I seen them. But that shit, it made me strong. Now I'm right back on my best. Like bitches, leave me alone. Why I get linked on this tech? Like little bitches, leave me alone. Unless you gonna drop that neck. Like little bitches, leave me alone. Unless you talking about a check. Boy, deuces out of soda, turn it over, watch it sing. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Boy, deuces out of soda, turn it over, watch it sing. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip.